and welcome back to Sisterly Sparks. I'm Orange Spark,
I'm Purple Spark.
and together we are the Spark.
Look, before we start, first of all, I had technical difficulties, okay? And it turns out it really wasn't technical, okay? At all. I gotta shut my camera wasn't working. We supposed to been on here like 30 minutes ago. Literally. There's a shutter on my other computer camera. I'm trying big ups to the technician behind the scenes. He told me to make a shout out, but
Period.
he figured that out. But we restarted the computer. We went to the camera settings. We restarted the computer, everything, just to find out the freaking computer got a little shutter to the webcam so you could have privacy, which I didn't know. I don't use that. I don't go up there and just close my camera for nothing. Anyway, then we get on here. I can't hear my sister. So now I'm thinking it's another technical difficulty. Turns out my god dang volume is just not down. So I'm using my Surface, but I haven't used this thing in I don't know how long.
That's
I
too
don't
smart.
know why the volume was off, but that's what it was. Listen, y'all, I'm coming out to a bad start. My daughter's game start in about 30 minutes, roughly, maybe less than that. So we gotta hurry up through this. It may have to be a part two because as y'all can tell, y'all can see how my actual day has gone. And even though we missed some weeks, my weeks have been like this. Just been all kinds of just mental check-in note, which is she's finna break up. Insane. That's all I'm gonna say. One word. Go ahead. You next.
My mental check-in would be surviving. Yeah. So let's just dive right on in here. So today's topic is going to be forgiveness. So let's start off with the definition, and then we're going to go through what does it mean to forgive? Are there certain acts that are unforgivable? What does it take to truly forgive? What does it feel like for you? Why is it so hard to forgive? And if you truly forgive, does that mean that they still have access to you? So, in the event that we do not make it through all of these questions, we will continue to do episodes until we cover all of these questions or any questions that arise. If you ever have any, please feel free to put them in the comment section. You can email us, you can inbox us on Facebook, or even post in YouTube, and we would be happy to answer those as well in the episodes. So, Purple Spark with the definition.
So, and this is from I could give a definition just from Webster or whatever, but I'm defining it from a psychologist definition of what forgiveness is. It's a conscious, deliberate decision to release feelings of resentment or vengeance toward a person or group who has harmed you, regardless of whether they actually deserve your forgiveness. That's powerful right there. That definition alone, that right there. And I'm put this definition, which I should have, but I'm telling y'all my day is anyway. But I'm gonna put it on our story, and then I'm gonna put it on the actual news feed too. So because I feel like every time we give definitions, we're going to post them because sometimes maybe we don't know what the actual definition of some things or some words are, and we're just using words that we don't actually know what the meanings are. So I will post them and stuff. But yes, that speaks volumes. What does forgiveness look like to you? Like given that definition and given like just you in general and what you've been through, your life stuff, like is or let's go here. Is it easy for you to forgive?
No, no, it is not.
Did you have to say it like that? You had to put stank
Yeah,
on it like that?
did. Because, yeah, people have me messed up.
So
Yeah.
what would make it not easy for you to forgive?
Because I don't want to.
Hold on. I just want to point out that all the other, every last other single pot episode, you've been so professional. And this one, you like,
My bad.
I just want to point that out. I'm looking at you like, oh, this hit. Okay, go ahead.
Look, y'all, my bad. Shoot. I did be trying to keep it cute, but shoot. Man, I know. No, because it's given that you don't even deserve it for real. And you knew what you was doing. But I gotta do this. I mean, like, and try to see the good and let it all go. And I can't like feel some type of way. Although I feel some type of way. Like, I don't know. It's just hard. It's hard though. I don't should I? Yes. Is there freedom? Yes. But easy.
Is there certain things that you can't forgive?
That one's kind of
people or things.
Is conflicting. Because based on my religion, there shouldn't be anything that I can't forgive. But I feel like there are things and people that I can't forgive. And you know what? No forgiveness I can do by myself. None unless you're a child and you just don't know no better. Outside of that, I need help. In my own strength, I can't. Because I just feel like you knew better. Because at the point, like if you explained it to me and was like, oh, this is what I was coming for, or this is what I was aiming for, or this is what I meant, or this is what I was trying to do, or whatever, and I can hear you out and be understanding and and that kind of forgiveness, like, oh yeah, don't even worry about it. Like that's different than that. And I'm like, oh, that's a bunch of BS. Yeah, no. Or you never even do that and just be like, oh well, eat that. I feel like you need to be punished. Like with me, we no access. Shut the door. Soak in that. Marinate. I feel like I shifted, but
no, you just shift. So let's just say, hypothetically, I feel like you know where I'm going, but let's just say a certain someone come to you and take back everything that happened, take back the deading, take back all that, and ask your forgiveness, and lead with the reason for the actions, said actions, and I can't say wholeheartedly because I don't know if it will be, but let's just say if they said wholeheartedly they sincerely apologized and didn't mean it and was just they was just going through something or whatever and ask your forgiveness, would you forgive that said person?
If I did, it would not be on the weight of them being sincerely sorry or not wanting to do it or just wanting to. Those are excuses because it's giving there's no excuse for me to hold the position in your life that I did, and I'm not welcome around, but they are. The predator is treated as a family member and I'm outcast. Like the things that you said, all of the, like, no, you meant that. You meant it no matter what you're going through. Even if you meant it to hurt me, you meant it. And you saying you regret it or you never wanted, nah, that came from within. So yeah, no, it doesn't matter. There's no way that I'm your child, and that's just that's how you chose to go about the situation. I feel like maybe you didn't know how to go about it, and that's cool. But before, had that been the apology before the "I don't believe you" and the "he's in, I'm out," yeah, I could have accepted it. No problem. I wouldn't even thought about it. Like I ain't even want to talk about it. It wouldn't even been a thing. Out, thrown out the window, never existed. But at that point, everything beyond that, very much so intentional. Everything beyond that showed the lack of love, care. The list goes on. No.
Why you got my purple pen though? Why you not holding up an orange pen? Sorry.
I ain't seen one in purple. I mean in orange.
Mm-hmm.
And this ain't purple.
That's
it looked purple on screen. It's not purple.
It's kind of purple.
I mean, it do look that on the screen, but
is it pink?
Yeah.
It's purple. Okay.
I'm sorry, y'all. We be backstage a lot just talking, and I'm thinking we just back here talking.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But we've been gone for a couple weeks, and we're sorry. Life has been really lifing. I've been really down, like health-wise and just mentally, like drained, and
yeah.
On top of we're just working, so we're busy too. So we do apologize, but we do feel like this forgiveness is a good piece. Given what we've been dealing with, given with what's been thrown at us, given what we've been having to endure on top of our daily activities and jobs and all that, and to like some of the things that I watch, it brings up these such titles because like it's so much stuff going on right now. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. And I just thought that this title, even though the last one we said it was going to be a part 2 from before, I feel like we could jump back on that. But I just feel like this one right here, this one is a really good one because, yes, we can all say that it's, that everything can be forgivable. Like it can be easy to forgive. You should forgive. You know what I mean? Like, yes, we could say that, but deep down, like Orange Spark said, it's hard. It's hell. It's hard, especially depending on what the act is that you're having to forgive, or the person that you're trying that you need to forgive. And I'm gonna let her continue, but I really do feel like it's a hard task. And I feel like if you really don't want to, or really don't mean to forgive, and just using that as a way of a manipulation tactic or whatever, don't do it. Because that's not gonna pan out well. That's not gonna be good for anybody, either side. It's not gonna turn out good. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Orange Spark.
No, I think I got my point across. For real.
You know how? Okay, so sometimes I get so mad that I look at stuff so many different ways because it can deem me as confusing and just all over the place. But in one way, I see it as, everybody do things. Everybody don't want to be villainized by the things that they do and the decisions that they make, regardless on if it's intentional, on purpose, accidental, whatever, So in that aspect, yes, I feel like, in a sense, most things and people do deserve forgiveness because we're human, right? We're not perfect. We're gonna mess up. We're gonna go through things. We're not gonna, make the right decisions sometimes. And like I said, depending on how, like, it got to be a heartfelt. Like you gotta, I don't know. I feel like this is where you have to know people. You have to know who you're dealing with. You have to know what you're dealing with, even if it's not an actual certain person, but something or whatever. Like I feel like you just have to know that, because for me, I feel like, and I say it all the time, I feel like you have to You have to say what you mean and mean what you say to me. I can't speak for Orange Spark or nobody else, but to me, you have to absolutely unequivocally, any other words that mean totally means you have to say exactly what you're meaning to me, because even though I take action over word, I still listen to what you're saying. And I'm going to hold you to that, because I feel like we say exactly what we need to say, how we say it. And I feel like if you don't, then you need to shut up, think about it before you speak. I feel like all of us can do that. I feel like we can all think about what we're saying before we say it. Even if even if even if people are spiteful, even if people are, meaning harm or meaning to make you feel some type of way or whatever, there's always ways around, or different things, or different ways that you could say something to make somebody feel a certain type of way without proper, you know what I mean? So I just feel like each time we speak, we know where we're talking. We know who we're talking to. We know the context in which we're saying what we're saying. I feel like all that. So for me, my forgiveness, I look at the person. I look at the circumstances. I look at the things. Yes, there is some things that is um well, yes, I do feel like there is things that's not forgivable. Um but we also have to ask ourselves if that was you, like, reverse the
Mhm.
reverse
The shoe
the
was reversed.
right. If it was the shoe was on the other foot, would you
Mhm.
want to be forgiven for this? Could you be forgiven for the act that you committed
Mm.
or the things that you said? Now, should words be forgiven? If you said it, you meant it, right? Because you wouldn't say anything that you don't mean, right? And if you say something that you don't mean, and you're just trying to say something or whatever, and you're not owning up to what you're saying, then it turns out that I'm not the actual problem, that it's you that need to figure out what's going on with you, because you can't be real, or you can't tell the truth, or you feel like you have to disguise the truth with just some words or say something. And that's my problem, because I choose to listen to what you're saying out your mouth, or I choose to hear what you're saying and judge you from what you're saying, from how you're saying it, and from the context in which you're saying it. That's my fault for my reaction to what you are saying, or how you're saying it to me. And that's supposed to be my problem. That's a question anybody can answer too. I don't get it. I just feel like, and two, if you really like just a laid back person, if you really just like a person that really for real gets life, and for real like really understand that, like, literally this life is full of tricks and turns and ups and downs, and just, you could be tricked easy, you could be manipulated easy, you could be gaslit easy, you could be just everything. And but if you're one who can understand and knows and able to read people and things and all that, sorry. I feel like that's a telltale sign. And um we should be able to tell whether somebody's is being genuine or not, is And even if they're saying something that they don't mean, sometimes I feel like we should be able to pick that up sometimes for some people.
Mhm.
And sometimes though, sometimes depending on what people is going through and what they're dealing with, they they may use that as a coping mechanism to where, you know what I mean? Because
Gotcha.
if a person just feels like they don't have nobody, a person feels like, nobody's ever there, or they don't have, they can't go to nobody, or um uh any of that. And so to protect themselves, they may feel like, well, I'm gonna just say this and I'm gonna keep that wall, because it's not like, you know it's not like you want to be around or want to help anyway, so I'm gonna keep this up, even though deep down I don't want that. But what people are showing you in your view is to study push back. So in a way I could sort of get that, but I still really feel like, even in that, and I feel like that's where the conversations need to be had, because even in that, I feel like there just need to be conversations with said people. If anybody have any problems or any whatever with anybody, I feel like you just need to have a talk. And I feel like each person needs to hear each person out, regardless on if you feel like it's true or not, or if it's coming from the right place or not, or whatever. You need to understand where the people are each other's coming from. If you always shutting up somebody, or you always calling somebody a lie, or you always telling somebody that that's not true or whatever, you're still not going to understand where that person was coming from, why they said such things or did such things. And you're still just going to try to go by what it is that you think.
Mhm.
And nothing ever is going to get settled or figured out. So, I don't know. I just it's tough. Um I feel like it have to be something like really major for me not to forgive. It have to be something really. Now I will forgive, but at a
But if you forget, is that really forgiveness? If there's
no,
that
I don't forget. Especially if
no.
first of all, I'm so emotional, and I'm so like everything just tugs on some part of my strings or some strings. I don't forget anything, especially when it hurts, especially when it bothers, especially when it makes me feel something other than what I normally do. It a
Mhm.
downer, like I remember all that, because I feel like there's no reason why somebody should make anybody feel like less than who they are. They should try to make somebody feel low, try to make somebody try to call out people weaknesses, try to use them against somebody. Like I don't feel like none of that should happen. And I feel like when people do that, that shows who they are. And then you act accordingly. And then you put said people on leashes, like on,
Mhm.
you handle as need be. You watch more, you listen more, you
Mhm.
understand more.
So
So
if you don't forget, do you really forgive? Because what if you hanging on like, oh, you left me at the store the other day, and then 2 years later you done left me at the store
but I
again.
feel like you can
And
forgive even if you don't forget. Some things you just are not going to forget because they're actions. It happened. You seen it with your eyes. You experienced it. You felt it. You lived it. All that. You're not going to be able to forget that. What I don't know any. I don't know anybody or anything that happened to somebody like that made them feel some type of way, or anything that they actually forgot. Now to forgive, now you could forgive the act, But certain things that happen in life, it makes you remember certain things. That's not to say you could go back to that and have those same feelings. If you
Mhm.
changed up and if you did forgive, you got to let that go. But you still gonna think about it. You still gonna have it in the back of your mind. So
But so what did our definition say though? And I don't remember what it said. What
hold
did
on,
it say?
hold on. A conscious, deliberate decision to release feelings of resentment
Okay.
or vengeance towards a person or group, not to release feelings, not to release
The wishing ill of the others.
yes,
Okay.
and not to forget. It doesn't say forget,
Okay.
but to release the feelings of vengeance or resentment. So being angry and being spiteful and payback and all that. Like,
So you remember their actions, not how you don't remember how it made you feel.
yes, you remember all that, but this gonna have to be a part two. We're about to be late.
Oh,
Um,
yes. Yeah.
um, yeah. Let's stop right here real quick. It is really almost 30 minutes anyway. We do gotta rush. Um, this is a good. This is good. This is
Yes.
going really good. So, please, um, if y'all watching it, if y'all look at it, please subscribe, like, share. Also, inbox at sisterlysparks at gmail.com, Facebook us, Instagram, Twitter. I think we got all that except Instagram. Maybe we might not have that, but our personal pages. Please come and join the conversation. I'm going to try to get at least one or two more other people the next week, so we can for real have a even more in-depth conversation about it, because I do feel like this is deep stuff. And I once again do really apologize, but through my technical difficulties, we're having to cut it like a few minutes short because I need to rush to my daughter's soccer game. Um, and I'm Purple Spark, and I'm gonna let Orange Spark close it out.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in on our first episode of Forgiveness. Next week, we will bring that back. And we hope that you tune in and spark conversation with us. And I am Orange Spark.
And I'm Purple.
And we're out.